Let's talk about the Super Falcons now. They were supposed to play two friendlies against the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon. It was a double header, but the first was called off, was cancelled. The excuse was that the opponents arrived late. One supposed to be played in Ikene and the other in AWCON, the new MKO Abiola National Stadium. Now, this is a Super Falcons side preparing for, off air. We're talking
why
about.
Do we always call every stadium national stadium? If a state build a stadium, it's a state stadium, it's not a national stadium. Right?
Because that's what it's being called right now, MKO Abiola National Stadium.
MKO Abiola Stadium in Abuja.
In Abuja. So,
what's wrong with this?
Maybe according to them, let's say Sports Arena, because they have a track now on it. They have, it's an arena, the swimming pool. It was refurbished for the National Sports Festival. So, but talking about the Super Falcons now, we were talking about the WAFCON off air, how the gliders are going to, go for that tournament as well. And the Super Falcons, in terms of preparations, they've been tossed around, if you want to put it that way. No much games, no much friendlies being arranged, and a lot is going down in the camp of the Super Falcons. I saw a post on Ashley Plumpter's social media pages where she was trying to say why she was being left out in the recent squad, that a lot has been going down, blah blah blah. You know where I'm heading to.
I'm waiting for you to
corruption and stuff like that. Alozie also came out to buttress her point that she's waiting to see what Ashley Plumpter will come up with. This is a girl who dumped the English national team to play for. She traced her roots to play for Nigeria. Now,
she did it because of her grandfather.
Yeah, because of her grandfather. So now, let's talk about the Super Falcons preparations. Why is it so? Why are there no much attention given to the Super Falcons, looking at the fact that we have a Nations Cup in Morocco to come by?
Well, the 51, the 36, 37 FA's chairman in Nigeria gave Ibrahim Gusso a vote of confidence. So they know their reason. I said that he is the worst FA president we've ever had. And people said I was being too hard or too harsh on him. I still stand on that. I'm not going to change my mind. But this problem is not just a Gusso problem. It's a systemic rot that have been there for a while. You see, the thing about running football is not just the FA. I'm not going to put everything on the FA now. If you look at Wiki as the FCT minister, for all us is rantings and dramas and fighting, Wiki is one of the best ministers in this dispensation. If you look at Umei, it's also as bad as people 15 trillion naira contract, Coastal Road, this one. You could still see evidence of work that he is doing. Look, go back to the past administration, the quiet 8 years of Nigerian leadership. Amechi is not one of those guys that people love, but you see project that he started and ended. You see works that he put in place. Shehu Diko is my guy. He's our friend. All of us is our friend. Do you know one thing is settled? It started since he came into office. This is the guy who started the NPF TV, which is a brilliant idea. This is a guy who ran the league. Brilliant guy. Sharp guy. But since he's been the chairman of the National Sports Commission, you know what he's going to be known for? The photo op minister. Not because Shehu Diko does not want to do things. That ministry does not get money. Does not get funding. So when you don't give funding and there are a lot of legal bottleneck, no proper policies backing the position. Take for instance, all the national stadiums are not directly under the minister. The ministers are just like, the ministry is just like Hasboy. They are under Bureau of Public Enterprise as government properties. So even if they want to do something, they will do some things that Bureau of Public Enterprise will just look at, okay, let's leave this on this one. It's not a big deal. So once they move into major, they would be, a guy, know your place. This is above your pay grade. That's just one example that I'm giving. Remember when I used to tell you guys that when we used to have sports ministry before the Tinubu administration came on, I used to tell you guys that 98% of the budget for the Ministry for Youth and Sports goes to youth, and only 2% of that budget goes to sports. And sports means football, swimming, every other sports put together. So by the time you share that thing, it already says to you that Nigeria does not have sports at heart. Again, the other day one guy was having an argument with me on Twitter, and I said Nigeria is not a footballing nation. People should stop deceiving ourselves, being delusional, or in the words of the Gen Z of Janafa, stop being delulu and say that we are a sports loving nation. We are not a sports loving nation. We don't care about sports. We just do it for convenience. So the Falcons are the most successful team in the world. In Africa, sorry. The most successful team in Africa. They are going for, if you count the previous eras, it's about 15 trophies they've won. But let's say 9. They are going for X. Mission X is the next one. X, yeah. Right? But when you look at how we've always prepared them, we've not prepared them well. Morocco have caught up with us. Cameroon almost caught up to overtake us. They also fell in. Ghana almost caught up and fell back. South Africa is coming strong. Morocco is coming strong. Right now, Morocco is the giant of Africa when it comes to sports. They're developing infrastructure. They're doing everything where South Africa also, since hosting the World Cup in 2010, you can see how that growth has led to Mamelodi Sundowns is attending the World Club Cup today. But the Nigerian teams cannot even dream of it. Some of the Nigerian teams will not even be able to watch it in their camp. My point here is that we have outmuscled people in the era of power. When you use power to play football to win. Now that it has come to become scientific, where you need a lot of technology, advancement of coaches and all that, we can't anymore. A couple of years ago, I think about 10 years ago, I was still with Brilla FM at the time, and I remember we're doing a show in the morning, and Kingsley there asked me very early in the morning that this idea of going abroad to take foreign-born players to come play for Nigeria, what is my take? I said, the problem with letting other people and other culture raise your children is that by the time they come back to your house, you can no longer force them to abide by the dictates of your culture. Just the same way religion have messed us up, and we think that everything that is African religion is evil, and then this one that came with slave trade is the one that is of God. That's a topic for another day, but I just use that as an addendum. Let's look at this carefully. All the people who come from abroad, who complain, we blacklist them. But don't forget that they came from a place where they ask questions. Yeah. They don't just sit down, keep quiet, shut up there, do nothing. No, they ask questions. If you do something to them that they don't like, they ask questions. Why? I know it's coming from America, where the women are more successful than the men, where the women have the right to ask questions. They even tell their president to shut up. We saw that with what's the lady with the pink hair? What's her name now? The transgender girl that led up protest of, I've forgotten her name anyway, but I can't remember. Yeah, one of the strong, very vocal lady of the U.S. women's national team. Megan Rapinoe, yeah. Right? If you do that in Nigeria, you go to jail. If you try that in Nigeria, you tell the president to shut up in a public speech, you go to jail, right? But these are the culture that have raised these children to ask questions, to tell you, why are you asking me to wash my jerseys when the men don't wash their jerseys? Why don't we have the kind of team of physio that they have? Why don't we travel the way they travel? Why don't we get charter flight when they get charter flight? They have the right to ask questions. Asking questions does not mean they have committed an offense. You explain to them. I always say that Nigerian football, the NFF biggest problem is the use of media. They don't get sense. There's nobody in the NFF, we get sense to understand how modern communication works. And people who watch this video and say that it's rude. So rude people be rude. Even the Bible one for lend this manner of respect says, right from the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom of God suffered violence. This violence must take it back. It's not to say peaceful people. Okay? If people go by that. And the laws that we follow, one of the strongest laws is the law of motion, right? Everything will remain in state of inertia until an external force is applied. First law. Second law of motion, I've forgotten again. Everything walk in a straight line until something. But the third law of motion, God forbid, I will never forget that one. It says, to every action there's an equal or opposite reaction. Now, when you look at the way we treat these athletes, the women team, you start kind of like ask yourself, are we normal? Normally, the goose that lays the golden egg is the one you pamper. Because you're guaranteed that this one will always be success. What can we do to take them from Africa to the next level? The men that we overpamper, they've won only three AWCON. One at home, one in Tunisia. One we won because of a turnover. Because they played the AWCON in 2012. We forget that. When we want to analyze it, we sound like our giant. They played the tournament in 2012. Before everybody could rest, we arranged another one in 2013. And then we won that one. Everybody's tired. We didn't qualify for 2012. So we rested. Everybody's tired and we're rushing to go and win the other one. And we're like, oh, we're magicians, we're great. No, we're not. We're not. We're the only team that didn't qualify for 2012 that came to 2013. And then we won it. So not be a big deal. So I'm not rubbishing what Keshi and his team did. But I'm just saying in a holistic view. But these girls always go. When they come second, if they come second, we mock them. A team played the ugliest set of football ever in Cote d'Ivoire, came second, we get the national honors. And these guys are looking like, if we try this one, they will cost us. So the girls that won the AFCON one time, they protested for their bonus in Abuja. Amagbemi got fired. Asisa to Oshola was blacklisted. Onamebi, everybody was treated like they were orphans, but they won the tournament. So I think it's time for us to change. And so since we keep going abroad to go demand for these players to come play for us, do we have the environment to suit their way of life, to meet their demand? Because, no disrespect to anybody, but you cannot be living in Ijebu and be looking for girl that they raised in Banana Island today too. I'm not saying that people in Ijebu don't have money, but
sure.
Just try to understand what I'm saying.
For context, yeah.
You cannot be, okay, I grew up in Warri. I grew up in a place called Generator, Okpe Street in Siliat. You cannot be living in a Siliat in Warri, for instance, and you say the girl where you go date na Banana Island. Even Banana Island has girl, not be your level. Banana Island has girl, when madam get belle, they cannot go abroad. She get visa, plenty visa for her passport. You not even get passport. So you not fit that girl. Then they use Range Rover, they cannot go church. Then they give her a driver to go market, to go do grocery shopping. Banana Island has girl, they go do grocery shopping. They go night market, they go buy leftover food, we don't nearly rotten so that the price will come down. So there are two different things. You can't go and get Alozie, go and get Ashley Plumptre because they are committed to do something for their fatherland, and then you treat them like shit. They're not used to it. So when they demand for this thing, you better come with an answer. Sometimes I was telling my friend Larry the other day that this is some of these problems that we're having with the national team. If I was running the national team, I can make it so easy that we'll not even have a problem. If you call these children and say, listen, this is the money we get to. This is what comes from federal government. This is what comes from sponsors. This is our expenditure. This is also what comes from FIFA. This is what comes from CAF. This is our expenditure. The money need to reach. When we don't spend, finish. What we make is 30% of our expenditure. So no matter how we make the money, we're still owing at every time. So what we're doing is just servicing debt and servicing debt and servicing debt. Just please help us. There's nothing we can do here that can match up to what you get in your club side. There's nothing we can do here that can match up what your friends get from their other national team. Just take it that we're truly below poverty line, and it affects us the most. Once anybody sees that, they will relax. I was owing somebody 13 million. I was owing a bank 13 when I was doing oil business. 13 million. My tanker got burnt. I had the option, like, oh boy, run. No, because that's the only thing. Run. I have valid visa. I'm not married. Just go abroad. But I said, if I do that, my name will be destroyed for life. And then the interest will be piling up. I went to Union Bank. I went to the bank and I said, listen, I'm owing you guys 13. It was 9 million. It had grown up to 13.6 million. And I said, listen, if you keep increasing this money, one day I will die. You will still not get it. I will pay your money. I'm scheduling the payment. Stop the interest. See it as a bad loan. See what happened. I lost 2 of my drivers. I lost my tanker and everything. This is what happened. Let's schedule the payment. I scheduled it and I paid. I cleared it all up. In between, I lost my mom. In between, I got married and all that. I was working with ITV before ITV closed down. But I paid. My credit score is clean on that front. So it's communication. My mother used to say this thing when we were growing up. Say, no matter how matter bad rich, no matter they'll take over. Even if you want to put money for grant, people go first talk. Because say, now this amount they'll take fix up. So, no matter how matter bad rich, now conversation like this say, bros, this is the one that they do us no good. Okay, my children, make on no verse. See what thing really they happen. See what thing happen. See what thing they. These things now like this it be. And I make we they do like this. Life is a battle of cause and effect. Now this thing, now they make us do like this. We were with there, so we really want to do this for now. I mean, you sit down every Monday, you come to this show every Monday to do gliders. To be very honest, what you get is not a fraction of what you're supposed to get based on your brand. But I guess I communicated I remember you tell me that, bros, even if it's free, I'll do it for you. What's the reason that make you do that? Somebody else will tell you that, you tell the person you are not interested.
Yeah.
So it's communication. The NFF have not learned the act of communication. And that thing is a problem. And I'm saying this because of experience. I went to the NFF, signed up a deal, did a contract and everything to do production of a documentary. The NFF did not communicate to the players. The players saw us, they looked at us like we're strangers. The True Sekong and Ahmed Musa went on a mutiny against us, and we cannot enter the camp. They don't want to see us. I won't forget. We were losing money, we're hemorrhaging of money. But that's what happened. Do I blame the players? No. The people who we had a contract with, a business with, did not even communicate. And then when we started, trying to do our things our own way, and then they saw how professional we were, they grudgingly agreed. But that's the people you think can run our football. And they didn't even come out to apologize. So we're sorry, this happened, that happened. They meet up on their obligation. They didn't meet up. They were supposed to send a letter to CAF. They didn't even communicate to CAF. So CAF sees us like this arrogant journalists. I said, we're not journalists, we're filmmakers. We're working with the NFF. And then, it happens. So the NFF, from time immemorial, is the devil that is holding back the progress of football. Have you not noticed that every coach that has successfully won something in Nigerian football gets to leave the job? How bad can that be? A job be that once you win, you leave. Are you not supposed to continue? Didier Deschamps won for France. He continued.
Yeah.
Everybody who wins continue to the point where they're not winning again. In 1981, the Nations Cup, the coach left. Clemens West won the Nations Cup, took us to our first World Cup. He left. Joe Buffrey won the Olympics. He left. He didn't even come back to receive the glory. Clemens West didn't come back to receive the glory, like the appreciation. We won 2013. Keshi got into trouble.
Yeah.
We fought. The president, Glo, the owner of Glo, Adenuga, insisted I must continue. He continued. They sabotaged him till he lost. The pressure killed him. Amadou Shaibu qualified for an impossible World Cup. He didn't go to the World Cup. Name one person that have succeeded in sports that gets the glory.
Well, for the Super Falcons, I mean, for most of the tournament they've been to, the preparation has always been a talking point, and they still go on to...
Does it look like we're planning to change?
And they still, no, that's not even where I'm coming from. And they still go on to put on their best in terms of
those guys are good.
AWCON in Africa as well. I mean, 9 times champions of Africa, and this time again the expectations will be on them, even with the poor preparation. When the Super Falcons,
when you say poor preparation, means that they prepared with zero preparation.
And it means the Super Falcons are always going to be favorites. I mean, they tag this one Mission X, even though some of the players they don't know what Mission X was all about. They asked a couple of the players in interview how Mission X is going to look like, so they were like dumbfounded. What's Mission X kind of? But
that's communication problem.
Exactly. When you talk about communication, it flashed back to me as well.
Or Gaff, they would have called them first off. Tell the coach.
This is what we want.
This
to
is
do.
our agenda.
Exactly.
When I was working in radio, credit to Brilla, I'll give them this credit. Every time you see they'll call a meeting and say, this is our paradigm, this is where we're shifting to, this is what we're doing the African agenda, or we're doing this. I'm always a black sheep that will go a different way anyway. But you would see that that's the conversation. Okay, this is how we'll now start to talk. Sometimes we go hard on administrators, and then sometimes again you see that we're not just touching administrators at all. It's because the company have decided, we are paying money for partnership with the NFF. We can't be their partners and be hitting them hard. You have to take it easy. AWFA will still do what he wants to do anyway. But I'm just telling you, nobody communicate that to the players. So you just come and say, what is Mission X like? Are we going to space?
Exactly. That was the reaction.
Is Elon Musk coming to take us?
And for the Super Eagles, the whole "let's do it again" thing, the players were briefed. They know that this is the let's do it again campaign
because
and stuff like that.
Because the people behind it, let's not fool ourselves. NFF has nothing to do with "let's do it again." The people behind it who like to stay silent. You've gone to the draws. It was the draws.
I was there. Yeah.
Toyosi and Co. Unsung heroes should be praised. Frank Edoho, those guys who, let's put Nigeria image, let's leave this thing up now. We are with a shame. African people, they take us, they play. Let's do something to ginger them. Those guys spend their money, their time, resources, going back and forth. And you know what? The NFF almost sabotaged that. Let's do it again. Let's call a spade a spade. People are trying to be too nice. The NFF sabotaged it, looking for what is in it for us, not what is in for NFF.
So they had nothing at all to do with the whole...
Nothing. If they think I'm lying, they should come and sue me for defamation. Nothing. I have nothing to do with it. They're looking for the guys who were organizing it with their own personal money to come and dash their money. Bunch of criminals running our footballs.
Well, the WAFCON is coming up next pretty soon in July. We wish the Super Falcons all the best when they go to compete in Morocco.
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.